Welcome back to Pokemon Crystal. Last time we left off, I have no idea what I was doing because I go, oh, Team Cocket. Okay. Hello. That's a good question. I don't remember. You sent out basic ass. You sent out some of the most This guy has a Porygon. Yep. He had one fucking Porygon. Yes, I came to rescue you. Huh. Coughing. You sent out a fucking... You sent out another coughing. I just two-shotted it. Yeah. And I just two-shotted it again. Well, what would you expect from the Zodiac Killer? Yes, I did intend to have my review out by this point, but, okay, so... nothing happened in it. Yeah, so the guy we thought was dead at the end of Ant-Man 1 is still dead. The guy who died at the end of Loki is also still dead. That's about it. We stashed the real director in the underground warehouse. Oh, yeah, so exactly the same people who showed up at the end of the first, the final episode of Loki Season 1, rather. Yay. Yay, so... Carol could, Thor could... Assuming Doctor Strange can deal with that eye growing out of his forehead, yes. Okay, Thor is buff again, but also he's more of a joke than he was when he was Fat Thor, so, you know, you take the rough with the rougher. No, so Lady Thor shows up, and then by the end of Love and Thunder, she's dead. So, yeah, so for all we care, you know, it's just... Yeah, Natalie Thorman. Yeah, for all we care, Okay, so... I'm gonna have to wind back to Black Widow. Forgive me for this, but, so, the thing about the MCU in Phase 4 to now is that it seems like just about everything is just nothing, you know? Well, it's not even just filler, it's... Yeah, it doesn't amount to anything. There's entire TV shows that amount to fucking all. There are movies that amount to fucking all. Well, every single film in Phase 1... Well, yeah, but I was gonna go back to Phase 1 through 3. Every single movie and some episodes of the TV show... No, TV shows. Every single episode... Everything in Phase 1 through 3 had some level of meaning. And the meaning was, like... They all built something. And there was always something new happening in each one, and they were all setting up new mechanics that were paid off in later films. And now they're just kind of not really doing that. Like, the movies are all one and done. There's nothing... Yeah. Yes, well, we also got introduced to, Spider-Man, Black Panther, we had all kinds of stuff. If there were things happening... Kind of. The I don't care memes. Yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, but yeah, they're just. Let's see here. This is Tin Tower, right? Or no, 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 no. Hang on. Okay, so this is. Let me check out the map. No, okay. Going underground, going underground. Fucking hate that show. No, 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 no. National Park, okay. Route 35, Radio Tower. Okay, so we're at the Radio Tower. Gotta go to the Goldenrod Underground. Okay, so that's part 12 of the run. Oh, no, okay. Sorry, I wasn't even talking about anything specific. I'm just trying to figure out where I am in the game. Ecruteak City. Radio Tower. Disappear. Okay. Fifth floor. There's two executives. Yeah. One of the things that always baffled me about the quote unquote criticism of the MCU and is the fact that people kept bitching about how I was like, oh, Thor and Captain America's movies are only there to set up those characters so that they can appear in the Avengers. Meanwhile, well, now we just have characters showing up in other movies apropos of nothing, so that they can appear in literally anything. And we don't have films dedicated to characters' origins. We have other characters appearing in other people's movies so that they can appear for basically fan service question mark. Well, does anybody know, like, why, well, first thing I need to ask is, why did the Shang-Chi movie get made in the first place? Like, Shang-Chi is not a key member of anything. Shang-Chi is a... You know what they could have... They could have done something, like, sensible to change the world. You know, this is the problem that the fucking comics had back in the day. You have a level 10 Slowpoke, you send the level 10 Slowpoke out against my Rock Snake. I have a level 30 Rock Snake. You're sending out another Slowpoke, just put your hand on the deck and surrender. I know this isn't Yu-Gi-Oh, but Yu-Gi-Oh is better. No, but I know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, generally speaking. Oh yeah, fun fact, there's a glitch that is only present in the US version of Nightmare Troubadour for the DS, where Pegasus just disappears from the game, even though he's supposed to reappear later on. Yeah. Yeah, apparently apparently Pegasus was involved in the Battle City tournament and nobody noticed. Yeah, he fought against Original the character as portrayed by us. Yeah. Well, you know, the yeah, Scott Bakula ripped out his eye. But yeah. Well, Pegasus allegedly died, and then he shows up again later on, and, yeah. Well, he shows... Fun fact, he actually shows up in the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX manga as well, which brings into question, like, what timelines the GX manga takes place in. Yeah. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! R was like that, too. Yu-Gi-Oh! R is such a bizarre fucking manga. Because, like, I think Bandit Keith was supposed to have died, too, but he was, like, resurrected and made to be the main character of that series. That's fucking weird. Yeah. Yeah, so you guys, of the people here, who's seen Ant-Man 3 Quantumania? Yeah. Okay, so let's go through the film in, like, chronological order. So, oh, don't worry about it. It'll be very quickly, because nothing happens for the first 30 minutes of the film. So Scott has this little montage at the start of the film where, okay, so the movie opens with a flashback to some point between Ant-Man and well, the Ant-Man and Ant-Man the... Well, no. Oh, between, like, the prologue... Not the prologue, the flashback. There is a flashback that takes place after the flashback in Ant-Man. And the flashback to the missile launch in Ant-Man. And that Janet shrunk herself down to the quantum realm to, like, it takes place after that, but before the events of the rest of the movie. But also before, like, the stuff that happens in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And somehow they never... Like, okay, so, spoiler warning. Well, we've already talked about spoilers, so, okay. Kang shows up at the start of the film, apropos of nothing. And, you know, despite the fact that Janet ages... Like, okay, so Janet ages an indeterminate amount of time between, while she's in the quantum realm, but Scott didn't, and Kang also doesn't. And then, like, we cut to the present day, and they don't tell us that this is, that was a flashback. So if it's been a while since you've seen... If it's been a while since you've seen the first two Ant-Man films and Endgame, you'd be forgiven for not understanding that, that the woman that we see in the quantum realm is Janet Van Dyne, aka the original Wasp. I run the Pokémon Salon. I'm the older and better of the two haircut brothers. I can make your Pokémon beautiful. Just for 5... Okay. Well, I currently don't have an Eevee, so... Mr. Crowley. Okay. So yeah, so there's this is a little montage of Scott Lang being high on life about, you know, all the cool shit he's been involved with. And then he gets this call from the San Francisco jail about how about how Cassie yeah, yeah, about how Cassie is in jail. And if you watch the trailers, all of the trailers, they don't actually show you that it's a call from the jail. They show you that it's a call from Cassie, and the trailers all kind of implied that Kang was going to give Scott a chance to, like, maybe go back in time and spend more time with his daughter during the time when he was, you know, down in the quantum realm. That doesn't happen. Like, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I believe something like that was in there, and quite frankly, that could have easily. No, I think you're right, but the thing is, Marvel also shoots fake footage for their trailers. They cut and reshoot and all kinds of stuff. And guess what? They reshot the ending of this movie back in January, so it's a yeah. So that's a thing. That's a thing that happens. So uh yeah, so Scott goes to bail Cassie out of jail, and it turns out that apparently okay, so she got arrested for something. What she was arrested for is completely unclear because the film doesn't actually she tells him two different things. Oh yes, she shrunk down a police car, but she says that the San Francisco Police Department fired tear gas into a park full of peaceful protesters, and which is like that's just comically fucking evil. And well, that's been a that's that term's been diluted over the years, hasn't it? And so nobody's really sure if she's like peaceful protesters or peaceful protesters. And then in the car she says that, you know, she was trying to keep the cops from breaking up a homeless camp, and like apparently he, you know, the homeless camp, they fucking the men rake. Yeah. Yeah, so they're using the pim. Well, that's something I bring up in my review that'll hopefully be out like either tonight or tomorrow, when I am gonna kind of cut this stream a little bit short so that I can go finish working on that. Because I'm about 95%. I'm about 95% done. I just need to put some clips in there. Yeah. Kenya fainted. Okay, then pull out the big gun. Yeah, I'm not gonna do something like that. Stream is muted. What? What do you mean the stream is muted? The audio is... It says it's recording.
It is as well.
What do you mean?
Oh, it's...
Oh.
What?
He can only hear us. He could only hear me. Okay. Apparently the Discord audio stopped working. Which doesn't make any sense. That's fucking great. Because I had...
Okay.
Discord.
Oh, look, it's one of the,
it was working fine when we tested it at the start of the stream. It works fine before we go live. That's fucking great. Okay. Okay, so... Apparently nobody's been able to hear you guys.
Which is dumb.
Yeah, okay, so I'm just gonna mute Discord audio and leave desktop audio up, and game audio can also be muted, because that's just gonna be in there, and now I'm gonna have to adjust volume mixer, bring that down even.
It wouldn't be a Mehcast stream if something didn't go wrong. Meanwhile, I'm still... Meanwhile, I'm
gonna have to clone your audio in post. If I ever get around to doing that, I don't know.
Oh my.
Did you say clone your audio in post?
Your sandals are frozen in ice. Well, why would you wear flip-flops in an ice cavern?
On the... At least if there's any consolation, you got PP up.
I don't care.
So, here's the. So let's keep going on. Let's keep going on Ant-Man, and because Ant-Man is fucking stupid. So, so Scott finds out that like
that
the thing about the thing about the peaceful protesters is weird. Or the thing about the homeless camp is also weird because Scott mentions that the Pim Van Dyne Foundation has been using it's a
Pim particles.
Okay, the Pim particles for like all kinds of charity work and shit, but there's still like homeless problems, even though they can literally just like build buildings at small scale and blow them up, or take big buildings and shrink them down so that there's more space, or make food bigger, which they literally do in this movie. Yeah.
This is so dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb, so dumb, so dumb, so... He's climbing in your windows.
And it's like... It really is just like, what even is the point of all
Axel's
of
having
this?
an existential crisis. The rest of the band decided to leave him, and they're not taking his shit anymore. There will be no Chinese democracy.
Oh God! It was Ben who pointed this out.
Yeah, he said, "And your stream is mute. I can only hear you." And I'm just like, well, fuck. I thought, because I did a pre-stream test. Like, I've learned my lesson. I did a pre-stream test, and it worked fine. And then, it stopped working fine. Why did it stop working fine? Is it because I'm trying to go the extra distance to make sure that everything, like, try to kind of sounds right? Should I just not give a shit? If I didn't give a shit...
I would say
If I
it's
didn't give a
because
shit, if I
he
was
was-
like DSP, would I make like $10,000 a month like he does?
No, you'd make $10,000 a month on just being known for jacking off on stream.
Oh god, I'm really gonna go there.
Oh dear lord.
I'm not letting that go.
No, you don't. Please don't. Somebody needs to remind people of that, because like.
And this
yeah,
was like in.
DSP
I
is
think
a fucking,
this was in 2016. Keep in mind,
yeah.
dude tried to be all like,
Oh,
Dude
I was just
was all-
scratching my leg. Yeah.
Fine.
yeah, scratching your leg, as if scratching your leg could get you that face. Unless
Yeah.
you're a dog, I don't see that.
Yeah. So
Right.
So Cassie, they bail Cassie out of jail, and they find out that Janet and Hank have been enabling Cassie. Also, Cassie is played by a different actress than she was in Endgame, and she looks nothing like the actress who played her in Endgame. So, you know, doing
Yeah,
great
that's
here,
stupid.
guys. You know, why didn't you just use her? Was there a scheduling issue? I don't think that's how that works, but you know, whatever. So we're just not giving a shit about continuity anymore. And I can't even say, hey, that the actress they have in this movie is any kind of improvement over the one they had in Endgame. Because we
The
didn't
one
see a whole
game
lot
only
out of her
had,
in
like-
Endgame.
The one, she only had like 1 or 2 lines, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I couldn't really judge her ability to perform, and, other than that,
Yeah.
and it's just... I don't...
Wait, why am I-
I don't get the casting choice. Like, the girl who plays Cassie in this film does a perfectly fine job, but, yeah.
Yeah,
Other
it's
than
just
that, let's see. Oh yeah, so they find out that Cassie built this this beacon to go down into the quantum realm. And the quantum realm beacon freaks Janet out for some reason. And she's like, "Oh, we can't ever do anything about the quantum realm." Never mind the fact that like the quantum realm shit was literally the thing that she was involved in that.
It
She-
sounds like the
she
thing
helped-
Quantum Realm vegan.
Yeah, she helped Scott and Scott, and
Hank, and Hope.
Scott, Hank, and Hope. Oh, she helped Scott, Hank, and Hope. I was blanking on Hope's name. And yeah, she helped the rest of the Ant family. He send Scott down the quantum realm to gather up more Pym particles, I think it was. And she was
You know, the weird
perfectly
thing
fine
is
with
that, yeah, she was perfectly fine with that, but now she's suddenly not. She's like, no, we shouldn't do anything with the quantum realm anymore. I'm like,
Yeah.
lady.
And then they all get sucked down into the quantum realm along with a bunch
Somehow?
of ants. Yeah, somehow. They all
Oh,
get-
and that bunch of ants were able to do things on their own and whatnot.
yeah, which they do set up. Granted, they don't
And
set
then
it up
it-
particularly well, but they set it up.
No. Yeah, they at least set it up, but it's just not done well at all. Yeah, I get that Repel's effect wore off. Not that it means anything to me. Well, Alex, at the very least, I don't have to deal with a strength puzzle. Sadly, when you get to Blackthorn City, that's going to be what you have to deal with. Anyway,
Okay.
for what you got to do on your end, you got to press S3 switches is in an order, or that gets you into the rest of the underground on the side. All right, in the side entrance.
Hey! I got a full heal. So, okay, yeah, so Scott and Cassie get captured by, like, some locals, and...
Who make them drink the ooze.
Yeah, and that lets them understand what the locals are saying somehow.
Why are there
Let's,
locals in the quantum realm?
They don't say. So
How is there a
Janet-
whole society in this one place?
And they're all humans. Humanoids are weird creatures. You'd think there'd be a lot more weird creatures down there.
Than humanoids, yes.
Yeah.
But
What?
apparently not.
Well, they had to have humanoids to save on the CGI budget.
Yeah, because those visual effects people are really getting taxed on this stuff.
Yeah, especially considering that basically everything in this movie is CGI. There are, let's see, the scenes in, there are scenes at the beginning and end of the movie, and those are in real locations. And then you have, the rest of the scenes. And those are all the scenes in the quantum realm are on, excuse me, some degree of CGI set.
And meanwhile, Mason's kitty cat has decided to join us.
Okay, is that
My special guest,
raise off, turn it on? Down there,
he
no.
said,
Yeah.
I don't- my cat
You
says
might want
I
to
don't
look
get
up
the
on the
appeal of
walkthrough
family
what order.
outdoors.
You might want to look up on the walkthrough what order you
So
got to
the
turn them
keyboard
on
climb the
and
stairs.
whatnot. Because as unfortunately, unlike in the remake, they split those off into 3 separate rooms. In the remake,
yeah.
they're all in one room, and it's fairly easy. Which is the pattern in the remake is left, right, middle.
Ugh.
You know, the classic Nintendo 23 is number 1.
This Discord call is a sausage fest.
As if we could, you act as if we could get any. You act as if we can get Cat in here.
Okay, got that door.
Alex, remember, or when you press one unswitch, it should causes another thing to
Oh yeah, I actually forgot about Cat.
Yeah,
I
that
remember
door's
her now. How's she been?
closed.
she's been all right.
That door.
I mean, my girlfriend.
Anyway.
might move
That's
in with
that
me.
one. No.
Anyway, I'll continue.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh.
like Scarlet and Cassie get captured by the locals, forced to drink the ooze. The source of the ooze is all like, oh, you have many holes. How many holes do you have? And I'm just like, please cut this joke because this is not funny. And then we have a telepath who's like, oh, his name is Scott Lang and he has 7. And I'm like, okay, we didn't need to know that.
This joke isn't
they-
funny. The bit has gone on for too long, and the scene adds nothing. Why is this telepath here? Don't know. He doesn't do anything.
Aside from stating the obvious.
Oh yes, but that's just people. in
You
these
know,
movies, apparently.
There was actually a really cool telepath in DC Comics who was able to not only read mind and speak telepathically, but he could also kick all kinds of ass. You know who that was, Alex?
Who was it?
I believe he was from a planet known as Mars.
Oh yeah, and he was involved in things that happened outside of the. They don't bring the quantum realm people up to the big world at the end of the film. That would have
Nope.
been a change of some sort.
Nope, they just leave him down there.
I mean, granted, they do have, like, their own little society down there. So I'm not going to say that they need to be rescued or anything. Because apparently they're fine living there. Or it's just that
Yeah,
Kang
they're
is
fine
fucking-
living there. Yeah, they're fine
Kang
living
is
there, or as
fucking
well
everything
as
up,
as well as having to live under the somewhat rule of original the character as played by Bill Murray.
but Bill Murray, who disappears from this movie faster than he did from the Ghostbusters remake.
Except this time, he didn't get disappeared by an actual ghost. He just
Oh, no. But
He just disappeared.
You mean Ghostbusters 2016, right? That's what you're
Yes.
talking about?
Sadly,
yeah, the
yes.
Ghostbusters
Oh,
remake.
okay. I didn't know if you were talking about that or if you were talking about the Ghostbusters movie that came out last year.
Afterlife,
Afterlife
was a
is
sequel,
more of a sequel.
not a remake.
No, that one was a good movie.
Yes.
It was
Oh
a great
yeah, that
movie,
one
in my
was a
opinion.
sequel, wasn't it? I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
So, in my situation, every once in a while, DirecTV will give me like a 3-week preview of like stars on, and that's how I was able to watch the new Spider-Man movie and how I was able to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife. Because I cannot afford Disney Plus.
You shouldn't have to pay for Disney Plus.
Disney Plus doesn't have anything on it worthwhile or of note, aside from like stuff that people already have or
And people
is available other places.
And here's the thing, Bleach Each 1,000-Year Blood War ended up being sold digitally on Amazon Prime, and yeah, that was the one time I was actually going to give money for. That was one of the few times I actually gave money for a whole show on that.
For me, the streaming services I have HBO Max, but DirecTV that we have came with HBO, so it's technically in a way free.
Yeah.
Tubi, the better non-paying version of Netflix. Pluto TV. And Disney Now.
Disney what?
Now.
Disney Now.
Disney when?
Ah.
Disney now. So Hope, Hank, and Janet don't have to drink the ooze. They know all
No,
of
they
the-
actually drank some form of the ooze.
Whoa!
Did they? Because
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the movie.
It was in the shot glasses.
The
Is
ones that
there
Bill Murray gave them?
propane in
No, the
movie?
ones that were given to them at the counter.
There's a character named Hank. Is there propane in the Ant-Man movie?
No, that would imply.
No, there's merely
No,
audience pain.
Whoa!
Boggle, 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 boggle.
Yeah. Okay, so Scott and Cassie get abducted by MODOK. MODOK is Yellow Jacket from Ant-Man, which literally isn't possible. They show it like Scott shrinking him down like he did when he fucked up the suit, turned him into MODOK, but like we see that he literally implodes. That's not how that happened. And like
No, it's not.
there's retconning, and then there's
And then we
retconning in,
also-
like minor details,
and then we were also-
and then there's the climax of the fucking previous two movies.
And then there's also the fact that we were subjected to the brief sight of MODOK's ass.
Yeah, brief sight of MODOK's ass that they have censored out in some versions of the movie. Who knows what it'll be like when it comes to DVD, Blu-ray, and 4K, but I don't give a fuck.
I don't want to see that.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah. So, Kang makes Scott go shrink down the multiverse engine thing that Janet bigged up when she found out that Kang was evil.
Due to her getting into contact with the chair that was linked to his mind.
Yeah.
That was how she found out.
He lets her do that for some reason.
For some reason. I was going to say.
Well, for no reason, I think, is probably the best way to put that. And then she, rather than doing something sensible and, like, alerting the Avengers to the fact that this guy existed at some point in time between Ant-Man and the Wasp and now, she just doesn't say anything to anybody.
Because apparently she has post-traumatic stress disorder of the guy.
Oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about my time in the quantum realm. Never mind the fact that we spent, like, a good portion of the last movie trying to get back to the quantum realm so that we could, you know, do stuff now that we can access it readily without fear of, being trapped there.
Alright, just switching up my guys, and...
It's just absurd. There's a lot of absurd and terrible things that happen in this film, not least of which being the fact that MODOK is literally useless in this film, and
he's treated as nothing but a joke. Guy used to run AIM in the comic, went under the name George Tarleton,
yeah,
and was a recurring nemesis for Captain America
and Iron Man, and
yep.
So you'd think that if
he'd be
if
treated with some modicum of respect, but no.
No, the guy has a giant head. Rather than treating him like he's some kind of threat, like he is, they reduce him to a glorified henchman and with a giant head who shoots lasers. Everybody shoots lasers in this movie. That's not even special of this version of the character because he could shoot lasers back when he was Yellow Jacket. And speaking of shooting lasers, Janet talks about Kang like he's something special that they've never seen before. He's the most powerful anything ever. He has spaceships, he can fly, he can create force fields, and he shoots lasers. Iron Man does about half of those in Iron Man 1. The rest of that gets done by Age of Ultron. Technically gets done before Age of Ultron, considering that, Captain America, the First Avenger, and, that was my elbow, and, Captain Marvel take place before Iron Man 1. And so it's nothing special. They're trying to put this guy over as the next big thing. And all I can see when I look at him is that this guy is purple Iron Man with worse armor.
You know, this isn't like how,
big thing.
And Alex, this isn't like how Brainiac gets jobbed out in Superman the Animated Series, because, you know, that's his thing. And he's got drone owns that he switches between whenever he needs to. You know what I mean?
Yep. Open the shutters on the 3rd floor.
Wait, so you're already... Wait, you already figured it out?
Yeah, I saved the director.
Oh, good. But so now...
I got the amulet coin.
The amulet coin is a held item that if you give it to a Pokemon, after the battle, you'll get more money.
If only there was an amulet coin in real life.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you'd have to battle people.
By which, what? Do I have to, like, get in fist fights with them?
Yes. So, considering we're not legally allowed to have animals battle each other to the death.
Nah, and I would also lose my cats, and I'm just not down with that.
Potion revive.
And I know you don't want to lose your dogs, so...
Rage candy bar. Max ether. Guard spec. Full heal. X attack.
Yes, Kevin, I too saw that degenerate posting misleading info on pit bulls a few days ago.
Yeah, so...
Gonna put you to sleep real quick.
There's this really weird visual effect where Scott spawns a bunch of clones of himself once he enters the multiverse thing. I'm just gonna call it the multiverse thing, because, what the hell else am I gonna call this? Oh, hey, we're at the gym.
Matt Walsh is also
Wait,
another
what?
kid who thinks
I
Pitbull
just
should-
came out of the underground and now I'm in the gym.
Alex,
No,
you know
you're at
how
the
much
mall?
of a degenerate- Alex,
I'm
you
at
know
the
how much
gym
of a
underneath the mall
is?
with all the buff dudes that you can find in LA.
Oh my god.
That's
Just
a
go
Red
up
Letter
the
Media
elevator.
reference.
Just go up the elevator to the first floor and then
Go back to the radio tower.
yeah, go back to the radio tower and go to the third floor or to the first shutter door.
I wouldn't have used those items if I'd known I was right next to the Pokemon Center.
Fun fact, video killed the radio star.
At least I didn't use the revives. I was gonna say something. Yeah, okay, so, yeah. Kang tells Scott that he's gonna kill Cassie if he doesn't go fix the multiverse thing. And Scott goes into the multiverse thing. The multiverse thing has weird shit going on in it, not least of which is Scott spawning
Basically,
a bunch of temporal clones from a early 2000s Flash game.
Basically, the what it's supposed to try to convey is that these are multiple possibilities of Scott, including the one that still works at Baskin Robbins.
Which is strange because, like, he wouldn't be there if he still worked at Baskin Robbins.
But it's
I know
still
it's
just
there
a
for a
thing.
joke. I ain't laughing.
Yeah, it's not fun. Just because it's because we get that it's a joke, it doesn't mean it's funny.
Yeah, like, okay. There's a limit to the absurdity of what I'm willing to take, and, like, I like the moment where all of the Scots realize the only way for them to fix this is if they all work together and they start kind of working like an ant colony. And there's a nice
Mostly
callback.
due to the same desire of wanting to help Cassie.
There's a nice callback to the ants working together in Ant-Man 1.
Ant-Man.
All the ants work together in Iron Man 1 and to help him defeat the Ironmonger. Or no,
Oh God!
but, like, so serious question. And why didn't Scott, like, shrink down and go inside Kang's head and explode?
Because that wouldn't have worked.
Okay, no, I understand, and that wouldn't have worked. Why didn't they at least why didn't they bring something like that up? Okay, the jumping up Thanos' ass plan was a horrible idea.
I was gonna say.
But it's a horrible idea for a number of reasons, not least of which being that would be
That would crush Scott.
yeah, that
if he
would
tried
crush
that.
Scott. But the thing is, they're already down at like the lowest level of matter, which also brings up another question of like when they go giant later in the climax of the film, why are they still affected like they would be if they were going giant in like the full scale world? Well, because they're not even a fraction of the size. They're like a fraction of 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 the size that they would be if they were shrunken down in the normal world. And they're subatomic here. Them going big is not going to cause the same level of problems and strain to their bodies because there's so much less, you know? But, yeah, so... you know what Scott could do? He could go shrink down, go inside Kang's skull, and just start punching his brain. That would work. I think.
We don't know.
I'd try that. I'd try that before I'd agree to work with this warlord who just threatened my fucking family. At the very least, you know, when he went down inside, he did that to Yellow Jacket's suit. He did that to, I think it was Iron Man's suit. Yeah, he did it to Iron Man's suit in Civil War. Or he does all kinds of wacky shit like that. So why didn't he shrink down and go inside Kang's suit, who didn't rip it to shreds? Like, just start tearing out circuitry. You don't need to know what's important and what's not. You just break shit. He's just a normal dude inside that suit. Good spoiler warning, but I've actually read the comics Kang is from. He's not... Should I delete an older move to make room for Flame Wheel? Well, that sounds like a good idea.
Flame Wheel, yeah, Flame Wheel is actually a really good move.
Okay, I have Bite,
Especially
Leer, Ember,
in-
and Headbutt.
Leer.
Leer? Okay. I never use Leer anyways.
Who does?
Jesus, Tap Dancing Christ, Claire, your Kingdra is... I think me scoffing at Frank and for thinking this thing is a threat is starting to come back to bite me.
You're not gonna take another step in the King Rocket Fortress. I'll stop you with one fucking Golbat! I'm gonna throw a big rock at you.
Oh, thank God, Martinez saved the day.
I'm gonna throw another big rock at you. Oh no, I'm first gonna call out my doggy friend. No, I'm gonna call out my, my bird.
By the way, Alex, if you have a Firestone at this point, this would be the best time to evolve your Growlithe into an Arcanine.
I don't think I have one, but I'll see if I can.
Oh my God, woman! I
Oh,
beat
okay.
your ass!
I literally am going to call all out.
Are you at the part where she acts like a spoiled brat and can't take
Yes!
Holy
she
shit.
tells...
Take
Rodney,
the L,
save my
Claire,
ass.
don't be like...
Take the L, woman!
Okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
hero. Come on.
let's go back, heal our party, and then we got a hell of a trial to do. And unfortunately, I gotta catch a water poke. I gotta make sure I have a water Pokemon that can use Whirlpool.
I'm gonna be right back. Kevin, can you keep talking about the... I hesitate to use the word movie.
Alex, they filmed it in front of a camera, despite your reluctance in calling this a movie, it is by legal definition a film.
Yeah, sorry, dude. You know what would be fun though? What if, like, and I'm sure this is a scenario Joseph would especially be interested in.
What would that be?
What if it was Scott Hall that was Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Scott, who now?
Scott Hall.
Professional wrestler.
Scott Hall is Ant-Man.
So yeah,
Okay, so I'll
gonna
God
try and
bless
get through this fairly quickly. The fucking movie. Yeah, so Scott shrinks the thing down, and Hope helps him, Hope keeps him from dying, and then Kang, shock of all shocks, fucking betrays them.
Oh, gee, the bad guy offers you something you want, you go through with his demand, and then it turns out that he lied.
Yeah.
What a revolutionary concept. Oh, I have a Pokemon that can use Whirlpool.
Every time you say Kang, I keep thinking he's saying Kane, you know, like the wrestler, for some
There's a
reason.
character named Kane in Marvel Comics as well.
Alright.
I still can't believe that guy is mayor of Knox County.
Yeah.
Alright, gonna teach my Gyarados
Joseph, do you follow him on
Whirlpool.
Twitter?
I don't want to teach Cashmere Whirlpool just because it's art. Just because I've already got like too many moves on.
Meowth, help me. That's
My-
not a Meowth, that's a fucking Vulpix.
My Space Invader is now retreated to the mattress.
Well, we're going to the mattresses.
My Space Invader does not want to be part of the Ant-Man discussion. He's like, fuck this.
And the
You
thing
know,
is, and the thing,
Oh, no,
and then
your snake
Scott,
is bigger than my
and then,
snake.
and then
I'm gonna
Scott.
throw a rock at it. It didn't
Oh, and
work.
meanwhile, MODOK shoots down on the aircraft that Hank was piloting through,
Yeah.
who's sticking his hands
Scott's-
inside of these weird things.
Yeah, Scott's in danger, guys. Not really.
Yeah, and it turns out. Oh, and turns out the ants, when they were shrunken down, they ended up living. They ended up going through like 1,000 years of their lifetime, or thousands of years of their lifetime, in just like a few minutes. And so they just casually built their own society and everything.
Yeah, even though they got sucked into the quantum realm around the same time that the ant family did. So the quantum realm officially has no fucking rules.
Oh, so that means
As
people.
you've stated it before with the previous entries of the Ant-Man series.
Well, I mean, the
Rules.
rules have always been inconsistent with how the shrink tech works, but in this, they very definitively do not care about how the quantum realm looks, what's down there, or just anything about how it works.
And the funny thing is like, the Ant-Man movies are supposed to be like, these breather flicks.
Yeah, they're supposed to be kind of small, you know?
Yeah. Not supposed to be anything, not supposed to be like a big deal or anything. But then, and they throw
Rather
this movie
evolved
out
into
there,
Typhlosion.
and it's...
How the hell did you get Star Raptor on your team?
Mason, I long since established that I cheated.
I won't allow you to interfere with our plans.
I cheated.
I used
Well,
Pokémon. I mean, how do you think I got a Kingdra in a DS emulated Pokemon game? I literally can't.
So you did what Lisa Simpson did in that one episode. You cheated.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm actually more than justified in this, since
Single player game.
You're not using infinite health or...
no, of course not. That would be stupid.
Yeah, that's kid shit.
Calcium. You want to know something funny, Alex?
Yeah?
So after you do the Team Rocket stuff, you could actually go to the Tin Tower and try to catch Suicune there.
Please take this. Slash received clear ball.
Phone call, be right.
Tower here in Freaky Tower. Radio Tower. Elder in construction. Sorts of Pokemon lived in Goldenrod. Bell has some connection to Tin Tower in Ecruteak City. Ah, that's foreshadowing. Team Rocket whispering something's going on at the Tin Tower.
Alright, so like I said,
I found an Ultra Ball.
Now, Alex, Suicune is going to be a bit of a difficult one to catch.
Okay. That's at the Tin Tower, right?
Yes, that's at the bottom of Tin Tower. However, it's at level 40, and has a variety of moves. It has like quite a few moves at its disposal. It has Gus, it has Bumblebee, in the works. So yes, it even has a countermeasure for if you chose Chikorita as your starter. Boy, Chikorita cannot catch a break in this generation, can it?
Apparently not.
Wait, why did I do that? No, I'm keeping Stairway to Heaven in battle. And Alex, you want to know how long it really took me as a kid to figure out that switch puzzle all in the Goldenrod?
White it out. Well, Now I'm at the next Pokemon Center, so...
What were you doing?
I was trying to get back to the Pokemon Center.
You were trying to get back to the Pokemon Center, and how did you have your... How did your guy die?
He got poisoned in the very final battle.
So, to Archer.
Yeah.
Archer's the name of the last Rocket executive in the remake.
Okay.
So you have a choice. At least at this point in the game, you could either go straight to Blackthorn City.
Hold on. Road basement, Keycorn base. Clear ball. Okay. Clear bell. Okay.
Yeah, Clear Bell. That's
Okay.
that's what's gonna get you access to the Tin Tower.
Okay. Let's see. How long have we been going for?
Not long, I can assure
Hour
you.
and 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna go over to Tin Tower and then I'm gonna wrap things up. I'm gonna finish talking about Ant-Man though. Oh, so yeah, so they start this rebellion via Quantum Skype. MODOK has a change of heart because
Cassie told him not to be a dick.
Yeah, quoting
Just don't be-
Wotton's law to him.
Yeah, just don't be a dick. And then he's like, "I'm not a dick."
This is literal parody territory here. Like, the fact that this is a speech that happened and worked. This is parody territory. This is something I'd expect to see out of, like...
Code Ment.
Code Ment. Literally, yeah, I'd expect to see it out of Code Ment. Would have been better delivered there, too.
Yeah.
Would have actually been fucking funny.
And it's like, people will defend it saying like, these movies are made for people of all ages. Well, all ages feel very condescended right now.
All
Due to
ages-
their intelligence being literally a, what's the term I'm looking for?
May be able to make it through Tin Tower. Please go on. And yeah.
And by the way, before you get into the Tin Tower, you got to fight against a couple of sages who have Noctowls and 3 of the evolutions.
Okay.
Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon. Well, Alex, now I gotta do a test. This is something you gotta do as well. Good to see you here. No need to explain why you came. Claire sent you here, didn't she? That girl is a handful. I'm sorry, but I must test you. What is your name? Slash. What is your quest? Is to become a Pokemon Master? What
Become the very best like no one ever was.
is your favorite color? Green. Right, there you go.
Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games. We got everything you want. Honey, we know the name. And you're a very sexy girl. Very hard to please. If you got the money, honey, we got your disease. Anyways, yeah.
Rocket Queen's a better song.
Yeah, Ant-Man. And so yeah, there's this... Kang betrays MODOK, and that's, like, key to defeating him. But, they forget to double tap. And therefore, Kang wakes up right as Scott is, about to come back into the main world.
After Kang got jobbed out by ants.
Yeah, Kang got jobbed out by ants and a dying MODOK, and when MODOK dies, it's the most pathetic thing I've ever seen shot to, not exactly film, but we'll say high-end SD card. Or
Alright, I finally got the Rising Badge. So, suck it, bitch.
You finally got the what now?
The Rising Badge.
The Rising. You said Rising.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, Claire's gone. Now your reward for answering those questions actually comes in when you go back there. And Alex, and depending on how you answer the questions and is given to the sages, you could earn yourself a Dratini with extreme speed.
Huh.
Really?
Yep. A level
that's
5 a level 5 Dratini with extreme speed. So, even if it's a weak Pokemon on right out at the bat,
We have a sleeping Vaporeon. Keep the internet away from it.
No.
God.
We are
No.
talking about Ant-Man.
No.
We are not talking about Vaporeon.
Scott
Yeah,
turns
so-
big. Scott turns
Yeah.
big, leads the and helps motivate the rebellion.
MODOK.
And
MODOK
Not
dies in
MODOK
the most
dies.
pathetic way manageable. They forget to double
And-
tap Kang. Kang comes back. Kang almost kills Scott. The Ant family stands around for way too long when if all of them went back in there and just beat the hell out of Kang, I think they would have been guaranteed a win. Apparently Scott and Hope were supposed to get stuck in the quantum realm and Kang was supposed to escape, but they reshot that ending at the last possible second before the film released. And, it's really fucking obvious. And then they get out. Scott has an existential crisis because Kang said that he was the only person who could stop the rest of the Kangs from taking over or causing causing some kind of multiverse problem thing. Multiverse war. Or Loki and
Mobius.
Mobius. I was trying to Owen Wilson. Loki and Owen Wilson show up in the end credits, and the Council of Kang show up too. And they also have Victor Timely, and there's too much multiverse shit going on in this. This is an Ant-Man movie. Why the hell was this a different version of Kang? Why couldn't, if they'd have taken He Who Remains from Loki, imagine if at the end of the Loki show, rather than shivving him, they had like some kind of big fight, and he got eaten by that dragon thing that he kept as his garbage disposal. But that thing actually sent him down to the quantum realm, for some reason. Granted, I am pulling this out of my ass, but imagine that he gets sent down to the quantum realm, and then that's the same guy. And then he breaks out into the real world where things that matter, things that matter to us, people who we care about, because the real world is where we live, Granted, we don't live in the Marvel universe, but we live in the real world. We can relate to the real world. The quantum realm is so fucking alien. The people in it, when they are people, are still so fucking strange that you can barely even relate to them. And there's nobody really understands. Okay, so what do I have to ask these guys? What do I have to answer from these guys to Do I have to answer a certain series of questions now? Or
no, it's after you clear Blackthorn City, Jim.
Okay.
And by the way, that's after you go through the ice path.
Okay.
Professor Elm's giving me a phone call, and I have to answer it.
There's a series of incredibly insane events that happen in this film that make it difficult to truly connect with it. There's no... The ex-con crew are not in this film at all.
So, unfortunately, this really brings it down quite a bit without Michael
I
Pena.
love those guys. I love those guys, and they're not in this film.
Can we just imagine Michael Pena?
Pena.
Yeah.
Pena!
Seriously, he's one of the best characters in the movie.
He is.
Imagine Michael Pena recapping everything up to that point, and Scott be like, all are you sure you got everything right? Well, of course I did. And I was just following what you said. I get that, but are you absolutely certain you got everything right? I'll just be like, yeah, I don't think Iron Man would say that. You see, that's the thing. And that's how I feel Iron Man would say it. Luis is what? Did you publish this anywhere? No, I didn't. Then why are people asking me if Iron Man said, and I'm Iron Man, bitch?
That would be amazing.
Well, that's the thing. And that's the beauty of it.
You know what? That's how the film should have fucking started. It should have been a conversation between him and Luis. Them talking about all the whack-ass shit that happened between Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then just have him give a fucking recap. That way we start off the film with some like funny jokes.
Just imagine
and
Thanos and Robert Downey Jr. are doing doing the stuff in Luis's mannerisms.
Yeah, that would have been great. You see, we've already made a better movie than this, and we're not even fucking trying.
Yep, I did not give two shits or fucks.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know what happened in this movie, because an Ant-Man film should be really difficult to fuck up. You have things happen that are,
somewhat
not
connected.
Somewhat connected. It doesn't have to be the most dangerous anything. We don't need the fate of the multiverse, the literal fate of the multiverse at our at our disposal here. We just need something. We need things to happen that are easy to connect with. Like,
Oh, shit.
like, imagine if they actually had prepared and had the Avengers show up and do things with Kang. Or maybe if Kang was, what if Kang was, like, part of the, maybe Kang thing is, like, wait until the Fantastic Four movie comes out for them to introduce who's a guy who's the great-great-great-great-grandson. Fuck, Sui Kyun fainted. Reload time.
Oh yeah. Speaking of
it's
which,
rewind time.
Pokemon.
Mason, do not bring that up. For the
Why?
love of God, we don't need you to just.
I'm afraid to find out.
It's rewind
Joseph.
time.
Let's just say that Mason has found something to lord over me for all time.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I'm really.
You know damn well what I'm talking about.
Wait, this news bothers you?
Anyways, so you guys, let's keep talking about Ant-Man. And what would you guys change about the Ant-Man movie?
Well, maybe introduce another Ant-Man villain that isn't introducing a goddamn Avengers level threat who was able to age Thanos until he was a fucking skeleton.
You know who they should have had MODOK be in? MODOK should have been in the fucking War Machine movie.
They should have had Scott Hall play. Oh, never mind. He's gone. Never mind.
But seriously, hey, fucking MODOK should have been in Iron Man 4 with War Machine.
But no.
Now we can't use MODOK. Okay, maybe we could probably use the other version of MODOK.
George Tarleton.
Yeah, the real version of MODOK, but, George Tarleton will probably not be allowed to appear in the MCU at this point.
Why?
Well, because they've already bastardized him.
Yes, why indeed?
Didn't MODOK get
could've
his
also-
powers from? Didn't MODOK turn into what he is because of the Sidorak gem?
You know, that's a good point. They haven't brought up the fucking Juggernaut. There's so much missing in the MCU at this point. Like, I thought it was bad in Civil War, or when they were just like bringing in characters who hadn't had their own films up until then.
And then Spider-Man decides to do Michael Jackson dance moves while wearing Cap's shield as a hat.
Yeah.
Crotch grabs and everything.
There's
I'm
a
sure-
bit I gotta work on. And I keep forgetting to do it.
But seriously, they've been bringing in characters who have very little connection to they have supervillains who have no connection into the heroes they're involved with. They have
Ghost is supposed to be an
superheroes who have
Iron Man villain.
Yeah, they have superheroes who have no connection to the villains they're fighting. And they have superheroes posing as supervillains in the TV shows and movies. There's there's a
Agatha Harkness. Agatha Harkness is supposed
Agatha
to be a
Harkness was what I
hero.
was going to bring up next, but there was a bunch of there were a couple of superheroes in.
Hell, you don't even need to replace the actress. She was fine. I mean, it's just, don't derail the character just for some arbitrary purpose.
But they also have there were a couple of superheroes, I think, in She-Hulk, actually, who wound up being posed as supervillains in that show. The entire thing, like everything that went on in Black Widow, that was a fucking mess. Agatha Harkness, that was also a mess. Like the only thing that they actually kind of succeeded at that with was Ant-Man and the Wasp. Not Ant-Man and the Wasp. Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness has had Wanda as the main villain, and that actually kind of worked
Because Sam Raimi was able to, work off a bad setup.
Yeah, Sam Raimi is a fucking genius. But other than that, like fucking you had like Flag Smasher. Flag Smasher is a Captain America villain, and then you have two guys who have been Captain America, and then they just kind of wind up teaming up with one of the Flag Smashers. And it's like, okay, what are we doing here, guys? Why do we even bother? Namor. Fucking Namor. Like,
Don't you mean Namor?
I don't care how they pronounced it in Black Panther Wakanda maybe.
Wakanda maybe. That's funny.
Yeah.
Wakanda maybe.
Yeah, Wakanda maybe. That's what we're calling it now.
Oh,
I thought
you
it was
said
Wakanda never.
Wakanda occasionally. Sometimes.
Wakanda, I don't know. And it's just like the MCU tries to make everything canon nowadays because it's starting to become the Kingdom Hearts problem.
Well, yeah, because we don't know what the hell is canon anymore. Because they're bringing in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., even though Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. deviated from the MCU after, because they just didn't interact with the Snap at all, even though they set it up.
I thought it was because they couldn't afford the actors.
Well, they
from.
Okay, so it's irrelevant if they could afford the actors because they could have at least been involved with having, like, oh, we're talking about the aftermath of this. We're gonna set an entire season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in the intervening time between, the Flash, between the continuation at the start of the film and the stuff at the end, and the flash forward. We're gonna have a season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. the flash forward. No, they don't. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is also contradicted by the fact that they reveal that Mrs. Hawkeye is actually Mockingbird, when Mockingbird was a recurring character on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a very long time.
Mock. Yeah. Bird. Yeah.
What?
I'm singing the song from Dumb and Dumber. Mockingbird.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay.
And then there's also the fact that Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ended up delving into some other whacktastic adventures.
The fucking interplanetary bullshit they went on with the Space Hydra Serpent Society nonsense. Dear God. Like, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. turned into, like, they're focusing on like, world-ending events that hypothetically the Avengers should be involved with, but aren't, because we can't afford to pay for the actors to be in a TV show.
Except for when they were able to.
Oh yeah, they got Lady Sif, they got Samuel L. Jackson, but they didn't get anybody else.
They got Strabotsky.
I mean, they got they got Coulson for the entire series, and that was cool. Unfortunately, Coulson never came back in the movies, so it's kind of unclear as to whether Coulson is alive or not. Nobody knows what the hell is going on, because there's so many secret societies in the MCU now. No, it's just absurd. There's even more than there's more secret shit going on in the MCU than there was in, like, the Star Wars sequels or Heroes. Those, both of which are examples I used of how not to do stuff like that in my Black Widow review. Back before we had even more of this shit, you know? Like, oh dear God, why are we here? Just to suffer?
Yep.
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
I don't know that song and I don't like it. I don't know.
My
okay, I know that song
girlfriend
and I don't like it.
really likes that song.
Now, it's like we have all this stuff in here, and we're forced to integrate it all within this because Kevin Feige said, "Oh yeah, that's totally canon now." To which I'm like, have these people not seen any of the convoluted bullshit that the Kingdom Hearts series delves into? Because after the first game, after the first game, we have like a entire side game that is canon, and despite the fact that many people, all who have played the original game on the PS2, are not going to be able to experience it until 2008 when they re-release it on the PS2 under the moniker or Rechain of Memories. Then we have
grab some more Pokeballs because I only had 3.
And then there's the fact that it's like then we get Kingdom Hearts 2. And people are already confused as to like what happened to Sora between games.
What happened, what matters, and why.
Yeah, exactly.
That's 3 questions you always need to ask when making a sequel. What happened and why? What happened, where did it happen, and why? And why should we care?
Exactly. And unfortunately, it's like we have all the... And then, of course, with Kingdom Hearts 2, it's like we get multiple, and I do mean multiple spin-offs / sequels or prequels. We get 358 Days Over 2, which is a DS game, further alienating the PlayStation audience, and for that being on the DS and not on the PlayStation.
Now, I can see why they do something like that, considering the DS was the most popular handheld in the world, but at the same time, I'm like...
They could have put it on the PSP like they did with Birth by Sleep.
Well, yes, obviously.
Yeah,
That
and
was what
speaking
I
of
was gonna
which,
say.
then we have a prequel that really, really sets out to basically kind of make a lot of things utterly meaningless, is due to the fact that it's like a lot of this was already preordained due to a bunch of bullshit, and because everybody in that game is an idiot, even in the supposed smart one of the group. Aqua is a fucking moron.
Okay, Kevin, where do I find Ultra Balls?
You'd have to buy them at the Pokémon in Blackthorn City.
From EDC.
Well, I guess I'm gonna stock up on Great Balls then, because I don't think I can get to Blackthorn. And let's see.
Blackthorn is Blackthorn. You go right of Mahogany Town, battle a bunch of trainers, and go through the ice path.
Okay.
I've got big balls.
Well, at least this person didn't hack the Doug trio due to the fact that it's at level 27. Diglett evolves into Doug trio at level 26, as for context. Unfortunately, there's going to be quite a few shenanigans. There's going to be quite a few shenanigans on this. Anywho, getting back on track with my tangent. And so yeah, Birth by Sleep ends. But here's the thing: you're gonna have to play / look up a synopsis of this game, or rather, just watch a playthrough of it. Get an understanding of what happened in Kingdom Hearts 3, because this is all very important somehow. And then we get that Bass Ackwards film that we watched in the form of Kingdom Hearts Recoded, which was originally a mobile phone game in Japan titled Coded. Oh, but then it was ported to the DS. Again, the DS as opposed to the PlayStation Portable.
And then they recoded it, and then they made it into a movie rather than porting it.
No, we haven't gotten to the HD remixes yet. Then in 2012 for the 3DS, we get Kingdom Hearts 3D Dream Drop Distance. It's not Kingdom Hearts 3, it's Kingdom Hearts on 3DS. And oh my god! They introduced goddamn time travel in that game.
Time travel. When you want to make an already complicated story even more complicated.
And then we find out that the efforts of the three protagonists in Birth by Sleep were ultimately meaningless because Xehanort are already pretty much planned and to find a way to come back, because that's just how it works. And it's like, this happens in the middle of Sora and Riku's Mark of Mastery exam, where they just fuck around with those guys. Is long enough off to just be like, hey, by the way, Xehanort wanted to plant and a piece of himself in Sora, or to make him one of the 13 darknesses.
Well, this whole thing about like planning shit out from ahead of time, for insane levels of foresight. That's also something that happened in the MCU, because they decided that they needed to fuck up the entirety of continuity by introducing He Who Remains in the Loki TV show with the TVA, and there was like, oh, we have to preserve the golden timeline by preventing all this stuff from branching off. Never mind the fact that that's not how that works in the Marvel universe, because we've already seen by this point there's already been like minor crossovers between the MCU and other characters from
and not only that, there's also the fact that they alluded to the multiverse in Doctor Strange.
Yeah, Doctor Strange 1, and we saw
this world
like that,
this universe is but one of an infinite number.
Yeah,
as stated by the Ancient One. So we're already very much aware of the multiverse by that point. They pretty much confirmed it.
Yeah, we knew about it. We
And
just
plus,
wanted to
at the
pretend
very
that we
least,
didn't.
it's like at the very least when Myster when Quentin Beck ended up scamming Peter, or it's like Peter already kind of had this idea that the multiverse might be a thing, and due to, you know, all the weird stuff is going on in his life.
Oh, yeah, that it wasn't that big of a stretch. But then
No, it
somehow
wasn't.
he managed to guess the multiverse number that they assigned to, and I have to say assigned because it's not the actual multiverse number, or that they assigned to the MCU.
Some part of me feels like he was kind of bullshitting, but then and by coincidence they just ended up going with it.
Yeah, the continuity errors this creates in Multiverse of Madness is
When they
is
say
like,
that it's
we don't-
Earth 616, even though that's the comics universe.
Yeah, so now we have
not
3 Earth
at the MCU.
616s. Which brings us into DC Comics level territories of having too many fucking universes that all share the same number.
Yep. Anyway, and after 2 re-releases of Kingdom Hearts games that got re-released again on the PlayStation 4, we then get at Kingdom Hearts Birth 0.2, Birth by Sleep, a fragmentary passage. Boy, that doesn't sound like a mouthful now, does it?
Yeah.
And along with that, we get another movie in the form of the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, which is a prequel to the mobile game. Yes, the fucking mobile game is canon.
Why?
I don't know. It just is.
Here, Kevin. I'm gonna send you a bag of lies in the mail.
Good luck finding my address.
Some pissed off SJW will dox it sooner or later. That's how I'll find it.
Of course. and then all of this comes together, albeit very flawed, comes together in Kingdom Hearts 3, which is released a little while after the whole 2.8 final chapter prologue compilation was released, which includes Dream Drop Distance. So, what fan of Kingdom Hearts is really going to want to stick around after all that, when they're just waiting patiently for Kingdom Hearts 3? They don't care about all this other shit. They want to get to the main stuff. They want to get to the goddamn fireworks factory. I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I have never played a Kingdom Hearts game, but I should.
I have a hard time recommending this franchise, and that's why. Alex, you understand why after all that convoluted explanation.
Oh, yes. And I've been through some of it.
You've been
having context doesn't always help.
No, it doesn't. Sometimes it makes things worse.
Joseph, you ever played a Kingdom Hearts game?
Nope.
So that makes 2 of us.
And at first it kind of... And the idea of this franchise being a thing kind of started out with Tetsuya Nomura happening to meet a Square executive and someone from Disney in the same elevator. And he was like... And he pitched the idea to them, and they're like, okay. In hindsight, they probably should have said no.
Well, they've made a lot of money off of it, so I don't think they can say that.
No, I'm just saying in hindsight.
No, yeah, I get it.
Can't say no. Can't say no.
And want to know what the worst part is? Even after Kingdom Hearts 3, there's still one more spin-off that is canon, and it's the goddamn rhythm game.
No.
Oh yeah, I think you.
Because yes, the rhythm game has story in it. Story of Kyrie trying to find out where the fuck Sora is.
I think you live streamed it a few years ago.
No, I did not.
Oh, I said Kevin. Yeah, wait, Kevin, was that you talking or
Yes,
Alex?
that was Kevin.
Uh,
I didn't say anything. I'm just reveling in the madness.
So, yeah, Marvel, you are literally repeating the same mistakes that Kingdom Hearts did, and then some. So, it's like, at this point, just stop.
Well,
there's a reason why superhero fatigue is even a thing, and people are going to be like, oh, it's not a thing, and it really isn't. You guys are just in denial. I'm like, no, it is a thing.
Would not be a thing if they were still putting out high-quality product.
Yes.
Because people would not be bitching about it if you hadn't given us Love and Blunder, Wakanda occasionally, and Ant-Man 3, Quantum Entanglement, and all in a row. You know?
God damn, was Love and Thunder really that bad?
Yes, Love and Thunder was worse than this.
Love and Blunder.
Yeah.
I
don't get it. Like, I'm almost at the point of not giving a shit anymore, and this is where I was in the comics, like 10, 15 years ago now, you know?
Yeah, and this is sadly kind of why I've very much switched. I'm very much glad that I have another cadence in the form of anime who tide me over. Because at the very least, with anime, there are a ton of genres to choose from.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff going on in anime, and if you don't like it, well, you can find another one, and that'll be better. Probably.
Yeah. Yes, I already collected the 8 badges, Lyra.
Lyra! That was an old Brony video.
And I got a Master Ball, Alex, from Professor Elm.
It was a parody of the llamas with hats.
Yep.
Oh.
How do you parody something that's already a joke?
Life finds
Somebody
a way.
did like a My Little Pony G4 version of the llamas with that skit. Except instead of Carl, it was another pony saying, "Lyra."
Well, I gotta go back to the Ekritique Dance Center because the Kimono girls want to.
What I'm talking about.
Because the Kimono girls want to challenge me to a Pokemon battle.
Wait, is it going to be a Pokemon battle or a fucking dance battle?
No, it's a Pokemon battle.
Joseph, what generation of Pokemon is your favorite, if any?
I don't really know, but I do know. I have a strong feeling I know what generation my favorite. One of my favorite Pokemon is from.
Which is?
I believe Gen 3 includes Emerald.
Yes.
Yep.
So that means that my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon is Blaziken.
Kentucky Fried Chicken?
Yep.
Yeah, who somehow became a banned Pokemon after Gen 5.
Now, Alex, here's another thing to note. Oh, it's like, you remember how a Square, or with the Final Fantasy games, started to put out, like, sequels to the, to the games themselves?
Uh-huh.
So, Final Fantasy X has only one sequel, while Final Fantasy 13 has 2. One of them sucks. The other one is actually really good. Can you guess? Can you get
the other ones saying?
Can you guess what? Guess which ones are which? Alex,
Uh
can you guess which one was good and which one sucked?
huh. Which one was good and which one sucked?
No, you got to guess.
Okay, so which
The sequels.
one
The sequels are Final Fantasy 13 2 and Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13.
Oh, that's a trick question. They both suck.
That's not a trick question, Alex. Lightning
I
Returns
don't-
was actually really good.
No, yeah, I haven't played Lightning Returns. I've only played 13-2. And 13-2 was not very good.
No, it was not. I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. Now, if I were playing Heart Gold, I would only need to stick around in Ecruteak City for the legendary Pokemon challenge, but here I gotta go to Whirl Islands after this. Oh, hello. Oh, Bonham is here. How is this possible? How could I lose to mere Komodo girls?
I'm making popping sounds and nobody said the thing yet.
Are we there yet? You were watching.
No.
me, Clint.
The other
Yeah,
thing.
that's right. I never thought defeating 5 kimono girls would be so hard. I got beaten to a pulp. You must have come here for the same reason, right? Don't get cocky just because you defeated Team Rocket. These kimono girls are insanely strong. Go ahead, see if you can defeat them. But I'm not going back. I don't want to see you win. What a bitch.
I have one question for you, Kev.
What?
Do you have a Pokemon based off of Immigrant Song?
No, weirdly enough. No, weirdly enough, I don't.
Well, shit.
Well, Alec, what's the progress on your end like?
I just entered a cheat code to get Ultra Balls. Yeah, Ultra Balls at the Pokemart. So, going great.
Guessing you're not making any leeway into catching Suicune?
No, I got Suicune down to like minimum health and used up all of my Great Balls and Ultra Balls, and nothing happened. So I'm gonna go get some Master Balls from the Pokemart.
Oh my god.
For 5
I might be a
minutes,
cheater, but at least I'm honest about it.
could you not be yourself? For 5 minutes.
Master Balls 0. I want 90. Okay, I'm not gonna get 99.
So you're not gonna get 9999999.
Well, yes.
You're not
That's
gonna.
25 grand.
Hey, at the very least, if you have all those Master Balls, Alex, you could catch the other 2 roaming legendaries.
Ain't right.
There's 2 fish that told
Welcome.
try and sigh.
So
Hagen
Alex, unlike in the remake, or rather, unlike in the original, the remake, I gotta fight the kimono girls near the end of the Johto campaign.
Okay.
And I gotta fight them all in a row. Which means absolutely no resting in between. Zuki starts out with Umbreon. Oh, great. Now I'm going to get confused. God
Oh, well.
damn it, you stupid, stupid thing.
There we go. Glitches
You
are
caught it?
gone.
Oh. Ah. Yeah, I swear Gen 4 is when dark types really started to become, good.
To this day, there still isn't a there still isn't a dark type gym leader.
I could have
What?
sworn there was one.
No, to my knowledge, there still isn't.
I mean, there are.
Because they're dark, isn't it?
The divine Pokemon blows around the world, always in search of a pure reservoir. Should I give Suicune a nickname?
If you want it on your team, go ahead.
Oof.
Whatever, sure. What do I nickname it? Not Vulpix.
You want to know something funny? So, Emil, aka Chugga Conroy, when he was playing Pokemon Crystal for his channel, you know what he nicknamed the Suicune he caught?
What?
Epic Slave. Because he just used it as an HM slave for Whirlpool. I wish I was kidding about that.
I'm calling it Cheetah.
After Cheetah Men, the greatest video game.
No, because I had to cheat to get it.
Oh, man.
Too awesome, even. You got that right. I use performance-enhancing Pokeballs.
And, of course, the second Inkomono sister has to have the evolution, and with the highest special attack stat, which is Espeon. Espeon is the psychic type evolution, Alex.
Yep.
Zap.
The two towers are said to have been built to foster friendship and hope between Pokemon and people. Unfortunately, somebody came and knocked them down with a big fucking plane.
Oh my god. Why?
Zap. I see you. Zap.
Because that's the only running joke I have that you haven't gotten tired of yet.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, I'll bring back one of the old ones from like 2 or 3 years ago now. I'll have to go back and watch all the old streams to poach them for things that I can reuse so that I don't have to come up with new ideas.
Oh, goody, Flareon. Hey, Alex, you want to know something interesting about Flareon?
What?
Up until Gen 4, it was considered the most worthless of the evolutions.
Why?
Because it was a physical attacking fire type. It wasn't like Arcanine that had some modicum of special attack to help compensate for that weakness.
Did they ever think about it before they made it?
No, they clearly did not.
They had 4 opportunities to fix that. I don't know a whole lot about Pokemon, but I know that that's not a great tactic.
And then, of course, by Gen 4, they finally do this physical special split, thus giving Flareon a chance to shine with fire-type moves.
Huh.
Why skate in sandals?
Huh. Oh yeah. So yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah. Apparently, they had to rush a bunch of the visual effects on Ant-Man 3. You
Of
know?
course they did. Why am I
I
not
don't get it.
surprised?
Why don't we just, you know... Why don't we do things that make sense? Plan things out ahead of time, commit. Because if Kang had actually escaped at the end of the film, there might have actually been, you know, something happening would have actually mattered, and then, like, the Avengers would have had to go get Scott and Hope in the next movie, you know? It would have been a threat. But hey, why don't you move Kang escaping to the beginning of the movie? I don't know. Anyways, I gotta go. I gotta finish my review.
All right.
Done with what I wanted to do, and
I'm just gonna finish up the Kimono Girls, and then I'm gonna end things off for the night.
Try to finish this review and try to put out some fires, and then, you know, we'll call it a night. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Oh, you could talk about The Last of Us. Fuck, we can talk about The Last of Us.
No,
Yeah,
I almost forgot to talk about The Last of Us.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, somebody. Why didn't you respond to my link that I posted saying the
I
show's
complete. Okay, because I was trying to leave that off for tonight. Okay, so, The Last of Us started off great, and it feels like it's heavily truncating towards the end. Like, the very beginning, it felt like they had this relaxed, loose sense of pacing, where it was gonna try and hit all the greatest hits of the game and add in some more details and flesh to the story where things were a little bit skimmed over for the sake of runtime in the game. And this was going to expand it, and now they're truncating fairly heavily. The whole attack at the dam, that was removed from the last episode. Like the episode where they went to the commune, where Tommy lives with his wife, and so that episode ended with Joel getting stabbed with a baseball bat, and then this episode has Ellie, like, frantically searching for anything that she can use to try and patch up the wound, while also flashing back to the incident where she found out that she was immune to zombie bites. Not a whole lot happens. There's only one episode left in the season, so I'm seriously hoping that they're not planning on ending the game story by that point in time.
Yeah, because there's still there's still so much more to cover. There's the fact that it goes into fall and it goes to winter. Or
they already skipped straight to winter.
But where are the cannibals?
My fucking toe.
Okay, they haven't met the cannibals yet. Actually, they might have met the cannibals. They went to the Fedra place where the.
So they already messed up the pacing of the game.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of good stuff in the show still. I'm not entirely willing to write it off, and if they give it enough room to breathe at the end of this last episode, I'll be willing to say,
forgive
okay,
it.
Yeah, okay, let's watch the next season. But they skipped 3 months, 3 fucking months last episode, and they go on about it like the stuff that happened at the end of the previous episode when they escaped from the anarchists. Sorry, you know the militia guys who took over the Fedra zone in the city. I think it was Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. They skipped over everything that happened at the end of that, and it feels like they've continued on from that episode immediately after, even though they have the 3 months later title card. And then they go directly to the dam with the commune people, and then they go to the...
What about that one guy and his little brother?
Oh, that happened already. Hey, that precipitated the 3-month time skip.
That was before the dam. That was before the dam. In the game.
That was right before the dam. So the 3-month time skip leads into the dam section, And the dam section doesn't actually happen. Like, they meet up with Tommy's people at the dam, and they spend a little bit of time there. Joel tries to pawn an Ellie off on Tommy, and he has, like, he either has anxiety attacks or asthma or something, and, like, it's not that great, and they're kind of trying to retcon that back into the game, considering that they're bringing that aspect into The Last of Us Part 1, as they're calling it, as they're calling the PS5 remake, quote-unquote. It's kind of weird because the entire encounter at the dam is just gone. Like, they go to the dam and they talk to the people. There's no trouble whatsoever after they...
The whole point of the dam encounter was essentially to establish to Utami what Joel and Ellie's bond is like.
Right, they kind of did that, but they didn't have the adversary. There's no attack at the dam. They just kind of meander there for about an episode and then leave. And Joel, like, tries to pawn Ellie off on Tommy, and at the last possible second, he's like, "No, we're going," you know.
That's stupid.
Yeah. Like, I understand why. There's no reason in the show why they couldn't have gone together. Like, honestly, I feel like they should have gone together. Granted, like, Tommy's wife is pregnant, but they have a much higher chance of surviving if the two of them go with Ellie, and because they go to the Firefly hospital location, which has been completely cleared out, and Joel they have to fight off some guys, and Joel gets stabbed by a guy with a baseball bat, and which, like, it's not entirely unbelievable, but the exchange is... The fight isn't as good as the fight that they had in the Kansas City zone, because the Kansas City zone fight was really fucking good. There wasn't a whole lot of room for cutting in that. And this has, like, a couple of things where they should have cut so that it doesn't give the perception that there's more time for the characters to react than there should be. And, I don't know. Well, there's some level of convenience in there. And then, like, the section in the game was, like, Joel fell off a roof and got impaled on some rebar.
On a rebar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That made a lot more sense in the game because he, like, there was no way to... There wasn't really any way to stop that.
Yeah, it was an ambush.
Yeah, that... Whereas in this, when he gets stabbed by the baseball bat, first off, like, getting stabbed with a baseball bat might almost be worse than getting stabbed by the rebar, because with the rebar, or you have to worry about sepsis and tetanus. You have to worry about that, like, slightly less because the rebar is not necessarily leaving in big chunks of itself behind like a splintered baseball bat would be. So doing some field medicine on that, on the rebar stab, is going to be easier than the baseball bat, because you don't have to get inside the wound and pick out all the splinters before you close it up. And then the ambush isn't really an ambush. It's just kind of like the guy just kind of stumbles on them. So it's doing the Game of Thrones thing where it starts off really strong and then they start deviating heavily, and some of the deviations are really good and some of the deviations are really bad. And, like, considering the fact that the two guys working on this were also people who worked on the game,
including Neil Cuckman.
The funny thing is, Neil Druckmann directed a couple of episodes, and the episodes he's directed so far have been some of the better ones. Let me see. The Last of Us TV series. Okay, so Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann directed the first 2 episodes, which were really good. Neil Druckmann also directed Yeah. No, Neil Druckmann hasn't directed another episode. And so Craig and Neil haven't directed Craig Mazin is also the guy who created the Chernobyl series. And he's really fucking good. That he wrote all of the episodes. He didn't direct any of them, but John Rank directed all of those. Let's see. Peter Hoare, who directed some of the Daredevil shows, some of the Daredevil episodes.
I'm sorry.
Let's see. He directed A Good Man Goes to War in Doctor Who. That was really good. He directed 3 episodes of Daredevil. Let's see here. Let's see which episodes of Daredevil he directed. 2016. Peter Hoare directed Man in a Box, Cold Day in Hell's Kitchen, and Penny and Dime. And those are pretty good episodes. And Jeremy Webb. I don't know who Jeremy Webb is.
You said Neil Druckmann. I thought his name was Neil Cuckman.
It is. Oh, yeah. So Scott Shepard plays... Let's see here. The Cannibals... Apparently the Cannibals are appearing. Group of Cannibals. Yeah, so the Cannibals are going to appear in episode 6, I think. No, episode 8. So there's 2 episodes left, not 1. I thought there was only 1 left. No, thankfully.
Just making sure. Thankfully, the winter campaign isn't that long.
Yeah. Let's see here. Jasmila Jabanik. She's from Bosnia, so I'm gonna go ahead and So Jasmila Jabanik, a Bosnian Herzegovinian director, her she I don't
Well, anyway, Alex.
It's the least coherent episode of the series so far, and it's directed by somebody who has, I think 2 English language direction credits to her name. 3, 4, 5. The vast majority of her credits are not English language films, so I don't know if that.
Well,
matters,
anyway.
yeah. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up for the night, I think.
Yeah. So next.
Yeah.
So this Friday, look forward to more of our reactions to Death Battle.
Yep, we're almost done.
And this Saturday we will be doing Guardians of the Galaxy, followed by on Sunday more pain and suffering.
Yay.
So, toodles.
Bye.
Have a good time.